Oh, g'day again. Okay, I have welded the tubes for one end of the manifold, and as I mentioned before, I did practice, and yeah, the first weld, that was only on 3 on my welder too, not that high, which I wouldn't have thought it'd penetrate that much on this thickness of pipe, but yeah, way too much. And then down here I turned it down from 3 down to 2, which done this horrible big chunky weld, but yeah, it's still, yeah, got way too much of a dag on the inside. So I turned it back up then. You can see, hopefully you can see, get in the light, there we go. So that's what I ended up with. That was back up on 3. At first, see the more daggy bits, it was doing what you call stacking tacks, doing a tack and then starting on top of the other tack and pulling it forward a little bit, like another tack, then another tack, then another tack, and so on. That right sort of around here. And the first one sort of come through a little bit. The second ones didn't come through much at all, got hardly any penetration. And what I was doing was the stack, instead of coming down with the stack along the cut, I just put a tack across the top like a stitch, waited for it to cool. I'm going to say cool, waited for to stop burn red, and then I started another tack sort of half on top of it, ran across it, and same here, and same here. And that one I got penetration with sort of a minimal amount of dags, so that's what I then proceeded to do. On the rest of the manifold. So you'll never be able to see in here anyway, but sort of, yeah, you can't see without light. There's a little bit of, there's a few dags, they're only like a mil or so high. They're pretty minimal, so basically I'm pretty happy with that. That's, it's tiny bit of abstraction, but yeah, I'd rather have that than no penetration at all. I was thinking later that possibly if I could have sleeved it, found another bit of pipe, or even cut down a bit of pipe so it fitted tightly around the outside and put that over the join, and then welded both sides of the seam. That possibly would have got no dags at all, but anyway, as I said, it's pretty minimal. There's nothing in there that's any more than a millimetre high, so yeah, pretty good with that. The other thing I did after I welded this in fully was weld across the end here. I haven't cut that off yet, cut that off flush, but when you button up the flange to it, it's really hard to weld down inside 2 bits of pipe and get a join without any holes in it, any pinholes, any leakage points. So yeah, decided to weld that across here first, and take this out for a sec. And then welded across there, turned it up to 4. A little bit daggy, give that a bit of a clean up, but yeah, it should be pretty solid. What I did too, also before I welded that, I bolted it to the old manifold, did it up tight, and yeah, that sort of helps prevent warpage. I then, it probably wasn't necessary, but I then welded the bottoms of the tube into the flange all the way around, and yeah, just in case there's any leakages around the outside, just to be sure. And I started cleaning it up with the grinder, and I thought I'd only, I did use the flap disc on it. I think that was a pretty big mistake. I mean, it might have still warped a little bit, welding this up, not bolted to anything, but I mean, it's fairly doubtful. The weld around the outside, I think, would have stopped any warpage. But yeah, in trying to clean it up with a flap disc, yeah, taking too much off here, too much off here, too much off here. I've been filing this for a good half an hour already. I think possibly what I should have done is just taken just a tiny bit off the top and then finished the welds with the foil itself. But yeah, in doing this, need a fairly sharp foil. And go from end to end. Come across this way, like obviously with two hands. Can't put two hands or anything at the moment because I'm holding the camera. Come back across. Don't follow this way. You're gonna get uneven. Especially like, hopefully you can see that. See where it hasn't touched yet. There's two bits here. There's a bit more there. A little bit over here. Yeah, you can't just file this bit. I've got to take all of that area down to this level now. And I said it was a mistake trying to dress it up with the flap disc. And yeah, I said I've been on this half an hour. I've probably got another half hour filing it. And got two files. I've got a bigger one here, which is actually sharper. But the problem I'm having is it keeps clogging up. I've cleaned it now. But you can see it on there. And yeah, usually I don't seem to get that with alloys and it. I don't seem to get that too much with steel, but yeah, as I said, it keeps clogging up the teeth. And it's rather hard to get out. But yeah, this is actually a better foil for the job, and it's actually a finer cut than the other one too. Yeah, I might have another go at it with this. I might try spraying something on it, like some WD or something. It's possibly because the thing's so dirty that it's collecting the shavings. But yeah, and here I wasn't going to grind it right back, but it was I sort of took the tops off it, and you can't tell if you've got any pinholes. That was the issue of not grinding it back fully, so I have done that. I use a flap disc because I did the two individually before I put it on there. And yeah, there was a couple of holes that I've had to go back along and put some more welds on. I think just as a safeguard, I'm going to do is I'm going to run some JB weld epoxy, cover that whole area completely, and then clean it off with some emery because I'm going to paint it anyway. And yeah, might do that anyway just to be certain. Like, it'll make it look better anyway. It'll fill in all these sanding marks, grinding marks, I should say. Yeah, but it should make sure that there isn't any pinholes that are going to pop through later. Like, there's none in there now, I can't see any, but as I said, if I cover it, that might prevent any popping through later after it's vibrating, getting hot, whatever. So. Yeah, one thing I thought of, I forgot to mention, if you didn't want to, go to all this issue of cutting your cowling down and doing all that, there is another way that you could do it. And it'd also mean you could leave your studs in there too and not have to bolt it. But, because this is the wrong side too. It's one off the other side, but yeah, in order to prevent all this, and this is what I was originally intending to do. I was going to build the whole manifold out of alloy, but it's just sort of thinking of the cost of either setting up my own welder to weld alloy or having someone else do it. And then after I was cleaning up my shed and I found the old 1300 manifold, which is a one-piece steel, I thought, well, just make the whole thing out of steel. But yeah, as I said, if you didn't want to be chopping your fan down or anything, you could cut this off just across here. Having him, like have it set up on the thing so you know where it's square with the motor, because you want, you sort of want both cuts parallel with each other. But yeah, cut it off here where the manifolds are still the full size, and then take it into someone else and have them weld an alloy flange on it with 4 bolts. And yeah, then you only have to make up your centerpiece then. And yeah, of course, every join, because you need another gasket and it has a potential to leak. So that's why I sort of like things to be one piece. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to mention that, in case someone else wants to do this, but yeah, doesn't want to go to all the issue what I've done. And especially if you've got your heaters, your heaters and all that sort of thing that you want to keep working. We don't want to be chopping all this down anyway. So anyway, just another way it can be done. But yeah, there's 2 reasons why I didn't do that. One is because I don't want to pay someone else to weld it up. Like, it's not that big a job, but do that times 2. You're probably looking $300 minimum to have somebody do that. Labour's expensive nowadays. And yeah, the other reason I didn't want to do that is because I'm not 100% certain that this is actually going to work. So I'm pretty confident, but not 100% certain. So once I've chopped this, then I can't just bolt the old one back on if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work and I've already chopped this, then I've got to go and buy some more manifolds before I can put the old piece, the old system back on. So yeah, that's the 2 reasons why I didn't do it that way. But, anyway, leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Bye.